Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you once again for joining me here at my desk. I hope that wherever you're at, whatever day or time it is, that you're having an awesome day. Today I have another Lego video. This time it's a Technic set. Very excited for this one. When this was announced, I was so happy. I'm a huge fan of sports cars and specifically Ford sports cars. So as you guys can see, this is the Ford GT. This was recently released on March 1st of 2023. This is set 42154. And it's pretty awesome. I believe it was around 120 or so dollars where I'm at in the US. So really cool. Finally so happy to have this one and have it built. You guys could see there it is sitting there in the packaging. Pretty cool. On the back, again, is the product shot, which looks really cool. There's some measurements on the actual set, and then some pictures intertwined with the actual car. But again, it's pretty cool to have more Ford branded Lego cars, specifically in this larger Lego Technic scale. Now, this is not as big as the bigger ones like the Porsche and the Bugatti and the Lamborghini sets. I think this may be a bit more like 1/5 scale, but pretty cool nonetheless. I mean, I'll take any kind of cool sports car that they build in Lego form. So I'm gonna attempt to open this for you guys. Again, this is not one of those boxes that's a bit of a keeper because you're probably gonna end up destroying it as you open it. Just so you guys can get an idea of what all comes in here. So I'm just gonna put everything here and attempt to give you guys a bit of a look. And I already see something I don't like, which is this sticker sheet. I really am not too fond of sticker sheets. I really wish in these bigger sets they would try to go for printed pieces, especially for for logos and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll take it. Well, there's the sticker sheet. A couple of rubber tires. So here you go. Obviously, four of them. If I can find the other one, but here you go, four. And I see the book somewhere in here. But here you go. Book officially licensed Ford product. Really nice cover. It goes really well with the fact that the car is blue with white stripes. So that's really cool. Again, some awesome shots of the model itself and then the actual car. I'm sure for a lot of folks, including myself, the Ford GT is one of those dream cars, unattainable for me at this point. Maybe one day if I hit the lottery. And it's also cool to see that they included all the other Ford GTs from the different times and eras, 66, 67. And again, some the design team and another picture of the car there. It looks like you get about 3 bags, well, 5 bags, but I'm sure they all have different steps here. So a really cool book. That's really nice. And yeah, you guys can see, looks like about couple of bags. One, two, sorry about all the noise. Yep, one, two, three, two, two, three, one, three. Just trying to organize this here as best as I can. Five, yep, so about 5 bags, each number step about 3 bags each. So bag one has about 3 separate bags, step two has 2 bags, three has three, four looks to have 2 bags, and then five is just one lonely bag, and then you get the bag here, which is more than likely the frame with the rims. But anyway, just want to show you what's all included in here so you guys get an idea. If you do plan on getting this, doesn't look like too much of a complicated build in comparison to the bigger Technic builds. So I'm going to dive into this and hopefully we'll be back once it's completely done to give you my take on it. Okay guys, just want to provide you a bit of an update. Been working on this Ford GT here and finally got done with bags 1 and 2, or at least all the bags that belong to steps 1 and 2. I've been sort of trying to take my time enjoying the build. It is pretty enjoyable. If you've built a lot of the Technic vehicles, especially the larger ones like the Porsche and the Lamborghini and Bugatti. A lot of this build will be very similar. A lot of Technic, mainly bag one is essentially the back part here with the engine and the rear suspension. So essentially, if you look from the bottom, anything starting from this section on back is all bag one. And then same thing. So anything starting from here onto the front is essentially bag two. You guys could see these gears, a lot of Technic pieces. The cool thing, and for some reason this is something that had skipped my mind, is the block essentially is made out of clear blocks. So that's a really cool effect there. And this is obviously being a rear wheel drive car. The rear wheels move, as you guys could see then. The engine powers the rear wheels. You can see the pistons move up and down. Of course, this being the newer Ford GT, this is a V6. So you see three cylinders per bank there, but that's pretty cool. Other than that, you could see some suspension components here. The interior seats are pretty bare. And here on the front, if you could see that, the steering wheel doesn't really do anything, at least. And I followed all the steps, so my assumption is that this is just for show, because right now it's not, at least it doesn't seem like it would be connected to anything anyway. And, of course, right here we do have a way, I believe this is going to have what they call the hand of God steering. There's going to be something on top of the roof where you can move the gear and it'll move the wheels, as you guys could see here. You can see some movement there. But overall, yeah, so far so good. I really do like this build. It looks like this is going to be slightly different scale than the Porsche RSR. So it looks like it may be a bit smaller. But yeah, anyway, so that's pretty much what it looks like. Bags or steps 1 and 2 already completed. Also did have to put on some stickers, the lovely stickers here on the dash, 216 miles per hour. And then, of course, here, some dash stickers up as well. But yeah, again, so far so good. I guess I'll reach back out to you guys when I am moving through the build. Okay, so we're done with bag 3, which involved mainly some of the roof structure and obviously all of the back that you see here. You also had a chance to finish out the spoiler there, which is pretty cool. This is coming along pretty well. I love the blue that they've chosen for this car. It looks really cool. You also build a lot of the back, the hips. You see a bit of the intakes here, and again that section that goes through there. But pretty cool so far. Here's the actual steering, because as I mentioned earlier, the steering wheel, it's not hooked up to anything. It's just there for show. You can turn it. But the actual front steering, it's controlled by this part here. So essentially when you move this, you guys could see the front wheels, or where the front wheels are going to go, actually moving, and this will look better there. But I think other than that, pretty much bag 3s are done. As I mentioned, the spoiler here is actually controlled. I got that done, but it's controlled here by the, I don't know if you guys can see where my finger is pointing to, by what is supposed to be the shifter. So essentially when you move this back, the spoiler moves up. So up and then down, up, then down. And then individually you could also, move this spoiler in and out by hand. So that's something you could do, but that's pretty cool. They added those little additional touches to, I guess, to add to the playability. But overall, this is looking really cool. Had a lot of stickers back here. You guys could see the Ford GT and the rest of the stuff, and our stickers. The GT here, it's actually a printed piece, so that's pretty cool. And then the taillights came out really nice. Interesting build part was back here. Essentially what is the lower air dam or air spoiler sections, all these little black pieces. The way they come together, they look really, really nice. Here's the underneath. But overall, it looks really cool. Again, this is in smaller scale than all the other vehicles that I'm used to. But so far, so good. Stickers, obviously can't get away from them, but obviously these are white pieces, but there's a printed piece here. Sorry, not printed, but a sticker here. This is sticker, and then stickers all the way back here. So just something to keep in mind. And then more stickers right here on the, I guess what is back marker lights. Nothing too bad, although I am a bit of a stickler for trying to put these things as straight as possible. So I had a bit of a challenge in sort of doing these sides here. Those are also stickers. But yeah, but then next step is to move on to bag 4, which is essentially these two, so nothing too much. And my assumption is that will be all of the front here, and then bag 5 will probably finish out some extra steps, but that's the update. Okay guys, so finally got done here with the Ford GT, decided to go for it and go through steps 4 and 5. Those steps weren't too involved. It was pretty much finishing up most of the front and then the doors, and then obviously the wheels here on the car. The build, not too complicated when you compare it to the bigger LEGO Technic sets, and it's a pretty cool little car. Just to start off, there are some things about the vehicle that I am not too crazy about, and I'll try to take you through them. The back definitely, I think, is the best thing about this model. I think they got it pretty much really good. I love that they got this shape here with the doors almost like a V, which is very just like the real car, right? The radiators here, and the blue overall is really nice with the white stripes. Now, where I do tend to have some issues is right here in the front. Essentially, I do think they could have done a bit of a better job in making these front fenders a little more pronounced. At least on the car, it kind of seemed like the fenders stuck out a little more and they were a little more up. Also, on the real car, there's a section here where essentially it's the air outlets on both sides, which I think they use these black parts to sort of try and simulate that, but I don't think it pulled it off too well. And then also essentially the front portion is completely out of proportion. I think this car could have stood to be a little lower, and then the front specifically should have been a little longer, maybe up to here, to be a bit more in scale with the real car. The last thing too that I'm not too crazy about is his wheels. They're fine. It's just that I think that they are undersized. I really do think that they should be a little bigger. I think for a supercar, it's too much gappage here. These wheels should really been bigger circumference or diameter per that. So this thing by any means is not perfect. It's definitely a okay representation of the Ford GT. I do think that this is one of those models that perhaps could have benefited if they went to the bigger scale. I think right now this may be around 1/12 scale, maybe. So certainly, I think having to work within this smaller scale may have constricted them as far as, I don't know, especially this whole front end. I think this is where kind of the car falls apart a bit. By any means, it's not a bad looking vehicle. I'm just talking specifically about the proportions to the real thing, essentially. Um, but yeah, and then too, like I just said, these wheels are really, I think if the wheels were a bigger diameter, I think that would have gone a long way towards helping out the look on this car. Back, definitely, I think they have it, they got it down packed. I don't know if you guys can see here. Some stickers, obviously, you can't really get away with stickers, I think, at the lower price scales. But that's really cool, the whole build here of the bottom air diffuser, the spoiler, these sections here, like the real car with like a lot of empty space there. So that is really cool. The headlights, definitely really cool build. The hood, or sorry, the trunk here, the back, does open. And as I said, this car is rear-wheel drive. So when you move it, you could see the pistons going up and down. So that's really cool. I think a lot of times when you build these Technic vehicles, a lot of the cool stuff gets buried underneath all the car panels, which is almost like a rail car, right? So in this case, it's cool to get those clear pieces on the on the engine and seeing the pistons moving up and down within the chambers. It's definitely rear wheel drive, so that's really cool. And again, you can always close this back up. And we'll go to this side again. It's not bad. It's not terrible. I really do think they could have done a little bit of a better job with the proportions. I think it also could stood to be a little wider as well. I think that would have helped with the proportions. So I mean wider, like left to right in this direction. I think right now the front's kind of like a bit of a missed opportunity there. What else? What else? Oh, really cool. So obviously you do get a bunch of stickers. So there's stickers pretty much in a lot of places here. Right here on the side, these light markers are stickers. Same thing back here on the back. These side pieces are also stickers right there. They use stickers to try and simulate the chin spoiler or the splitter diffuser that this car has in the front. I really wish they could have figured out a better way to give us that lower section. What else? Oh, so there's stickers back here as well. So stickers, as I said, and a bunch of stickers back here. But hey, oh, stickers right here. And then moving on to the interior, there's also stickers in the interior, if I can somehow get in there. But the speedo, I don't know if you can see, there says 216 miles per hour. That's a sticker right here. And then there's like a dash plaque as well. But the cool thing is, as I was building this, I realized that the headlights here are printed, which is really cool. And I think they did a really good job of matching the blue here that they've printed on these headlights to the rest of the plastic. A lot of times, when you get these colors, you get a variation. And that's the other cool thing is to, at least on mine, a lot of these pieces, for the most part, are all relatively the same color. All the blue ones, anyway. Sometimes you get like different hues. I know with plastic, it's a little tricky trying to get different colors to sort of match up. But I think in this case, at least on mine, all the different blue pieces match up pretty well. Another nitpick, I know it seems like I'm complaining about this thing so much, but this is just in general, I think for all the LEGO Technic models, is these things here. I really wish they would try and color coordinate these things a little better. Like give us black pieces where the black pieces meet. Same thing here with like the red. Those could have been blue during the build, just to try to blend in things perhaps a little better. So it's kind of all over where you see like right here, I don't mind the blue so much, even though it's a different blue because the rest of the car is blue, but like little pieces like that, like it would just go a long way towards making this more cohesive. Like they have a blue here and a black piece here. So again, just little things like that I wish they would have done a better job with color matching. But again, it's nothing against a specific model. I know a lot of times the Technic models in general have all these different pieces of different colors. As far as this thing does have some playability, the steering wheel here is essentially fake, so it doesn't really move anything. It's really cool. But if you would like to move the wheels, there is this section here where you can move the wheels left and right. So that's really cool. The other thing as well is that if you look in here, there is the shifter, and when you push this back, it moves the spoiler up, and then you push it towards again and it moves the spoiler down, up, down, up, down. So that's really cool. Again, as I mentioned, the back piece here opens so you could see the engine. The front here opens as well, so you could, I guess, see some of the gearing that goes into moving the wheels there. See if we can get you, yep, so you could see that. What else? Oh, doors. Obviously, doors open up and down. So both doors open as well. So it's really cool they gave you that. And of course, this does have a bit of a working suspension there. But I really do think this car needed bigger wheels and to sit slightly lower, um, just to try to give it a better proportion. What else? But overall, I do like it. I think it could have been better. Again, bit of a missed opportunity because I really do think they could have done a better job by making this one of the bigger models, right? Like the Bugatti or the Porsches that they've made in that bigger scale. I really think this car would have shined. Right now, it's not bad by any means. Obviously, I could see that it's a Ford GT. But again, I think the front here, uh, working this out a little better and the bigger diameter wheels would have given this car a better appearance. But it's not, again, terrible by any means. I do think it's an awesome model. I do, again, I think I mentioned this earlier, where I do think they've succeeded. Is the blue color is really nice, but then you could pretty much see the sections here, almost like a V shape going from the doors all the way to back here. I think they've done a great job, and then essentially these sections here that are almost see-through, not see-through, but obviously in the real car, there's like empty space there, and that again that's really cool. The rear lights are awesome, and again, as I mentioned earlier, the front headlights here, really cool that they printed those. We need more of this printed stuff. But overall, it's not a bad looking model. I would if you're going to display this, I would say a bright white shelf would do it. I tried putting him in one of my black details, and the car kind of just got lost just by the fact that it's dark blue with black pieces. One of the things that I am going to do is, because I don't necessarily play with mine too much, is I'll probably end up taking this piece out, which controls the steering. It just kind of seems completely out of place for me anyway, right? So I may just try and find maybe a little blue piece to put in place of this, so it's not and take this gear out so it's not sticking around. But overall, I do like it. I just think, again, a bit of a missed opportunity. I really wish this would have been one of the bigger scale cars. Okay, so first comparison here is to the Lego, I believe this is Lego Creator Mustang GT, 67 Mustang GT Fastback. Uh, Again, these are, I think, for the most part, off scale. I don't necessarily think these are meant to go together. But if you're trying to sort of have some sort of Ford collection and it doesn't bother you, the size difference, I think this could actually look really good. Maybe because blue is one of my favorite colors, but I really do think these look pretty good together there. Really nice. Again, if you're trying to start some kind of Ford shelf, maybe with the Raptor, in tow, that'll look really, really nice. But just want to show you guys what those two look like together. Next comparison, speaking of the Raptor here, here's the F-150 Raptor. I believe this was also a LEGO Technic model. These look a bit more closer, I guess. I've seen plenty of Raptors on the street. I've never seen a Ford GT on the street, so I can't gauge the size or scale. But if I had to display these two together, to my eyes, it would not bother me too much if they're out of scale. Again, this being a big hulking truck and this being a more low slung sports car. If anything, I think the fact that this thing's so tall and big makes the Ford GT look a lot better, lower. So again, just want to show that more Ford goodness, if that's your thing. I think those two look really cool. And I think the orange definitely offsets the blue there way better. Okay, guys, so continuing the comparisons here. And of course, again, I'm just doing it for sizing purposes because this Lego Technic Cyan or Cyan, however you pronounce this Lamborghini, is a much bigger scale, way more expensive than the Ford GT there. So again, but this is one of the things where I thought the Ford GT could have definitely benefited if he was perhaps done in this bigger size, this bigger scale. I think would have allowed them to get the front proportions in a little better and perhaps getting in bigger wheels in those wheel arches of this car. Again, whole different scale, whole different size. They don't necessarily fit in together, but I thought I'd show that to folks who, again, may be interested in seeing, the size difference there. So moving along with the size comparisons, here you go with some speed champions. This is the Ford GT that came with the Raptor R. So again, whole different size, but just want to sort of show you guys what that looks like. And funnily enough, I think the front end on this thing is done much better than here. Again, whole different price and scale, but this one's really cool Ford GT. And then here it is next to the Speed Champions Lamborghini Countach. So you guys can see them there. So that's that. Okay, guys, and lastly, here it is next to the Porsche 911. This is, I think they call it Lego Icons now. Again, whole different scale, I believe. But this could kind of work. You know, if it's something you want to display together, maybe old supercars and hypercars. But just want to show that there so you guys could see the size difference. Okay, guys, so in closing, sorry if I came off a little negative on this thing. I still think it's a cool model. I think they've definitely done a great job with certain aspects of the Ford GT here. The back end, it's pretty awesome. Obviously, the front end seems like it's missing, from a proportion standpoint, could have been longer. The lack of some detail here. They use stickers, again, as I mentioned earlier, for the front spoiler. The wheels, I do think they're undersized, and I know they do the part sharing with other models. But I think a car this special should have warranted, perhaps, as I said, the bigger, uh, option of, a bigger model. That way they could have perhaps added a bit more parts to work on the front end and bigger rims. So I think that definitely could have done make this model a bit more special. But overall, I am happy with it. I definitely, obviously, do think they could have done better, like I said. But again, I think it's definitely worth it. It looks really cool. It does look really cool. But just keep in mind that some of the proportions are not necessarily that great. Cool that they've started adding print on some of these pieces on these smaller models. The interior is not much to talk about. There is a bit of an interior there, but overall, yeah, it's not too bad. Again, just something to keep in mind. I think the bit of a letdown is over here in the front section, but overall, it's a cool little car model. It's I think 1/10 or 1/12 scale, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna pair it up with. But yeah, there you go, guys. If I missed anything, you guys have any question, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you again so much if you made it to the end of the video. Hopefully you got something from this. But yeah, your time is very valuable and I appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.